All right, what's going on, y'all? So today is another Trading to Recap. Today is another Trading to Freedom series. This is episode 11. Topic of this video is liquidity pools and how to spot out high quality liquidity. But first, let's talk about the recap for today, and let's just get right into it. Okay, so coming to the day, I had a bullish bias, and I was looking for let's go on the higher time frame here and kind of break this down a little bit more. I was looking for price to take out this level right here and also come and fill this gap a bit more, which it did. But like I said, my execution has been poor, and today that showed again. So if we get down the lower time frame, right, I was expecting, I saw that Asia and London rallied up a little bit higher, but they weren't, these weren't like huge moves. London was a little bit more consolidation. So I was expecting New York to open a bit lower and then rally up and then look for these lows at some point, which then ended up happening. But I wasn't trying to catch the low reversals to the downside because I wasn't going to be, here in time. I was looking for the initial rally up to the fair value gap they were trying to fill. And what did I end up finding? What ended up taking? Let me just show you guys. I think a lot of people actually got fucked by this. So I saw that we were, here, I'll just take that off for now. Right, I saw we were rallying up, right? We created an SMT with NQ here and created that bullish SMT, and I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna look for the higher time frame version and then get a pullback and then enter longs, right? We ended up pumping up, creating the version here. We inversed a couple of gaps here, like really small fair value gaps, but they weren't enough for me. It wasn't enough volume for me to enter. So after this third pull right here, so we had 1, 2, 3 pulls right here, right? After the third one, I was like, all right, I'm gonna enter here after I get the next inversion. So right here, this gap, once we, close above this, we also had a body close, right? This body closed above these highs and these highs. So, right, we closed above these highs. So I was like, all right, price is going to come down and retrace, and then we should continue the rally. I was hoping that this low would get protected right here. This is my stop loss. And I entered longs right when this candle closed right here, I believe. Yep. Let me go ahead and put my long position. So about right here, I entered longs using my stop loss is actually the body of this candle right here. Pretty tight stop loss, but I was really convinced that price was going to rally up after this and hold this gap, and it didn't, right? Price ended up actually instantly coming down, and this is ES, and I was wondering why ES was coming down like this and then like stopping randomly. I was going to NQ. It was tapping into this fair value gap right here, this higher time frame. This is an hourly gap. So NQ ended up tapping into this level and delivering after that. So that was on me for not paying attention to the higher time frame PD rays, because that is so important. Higher time frame PD rays are literally like 1000% accurate, and like if you're gonna, they're so much more reliable than going off a a 5 minute or 1 minute PD ray, because the higher time frame PD rays are going to actually tell the story and make the moves. So that's what ended up happening, right? Price came rally down, took me out instantly, and then came up and then started playing out. And by then, like I said, like as soon as I take a loss, I kind of just lock my account, shut off the charts. And like literally when I come back for work, I see what happens, and it's every time. It's like for last week, last like 4 trading days, like I'll just come back and I'll see like, wow, literally just the 5 to 10 points below my stop loss, and then boom, completely plays out. Which honestly, it doesn't upset me as much as you would think. It just gives me confidence in the fact that my strategy works, and I know what I need to do. It's just I need a bit more patience, and I need to watch for those higher time frame PD rays and that point of interest, because those are fucking me. But yeah, so like as you can see, New York rallied up into that fair value gap, and then completely dumping lower into London lows, Asia session lows, and PM lows, and bounce right off of that. And then boom, start consolidating a bit. So that really brings me into the point of liquidity pools and, high quality liquidity versus low quality liquidity, and what is the difference and how can you spot it. So let's show you guys right here, right now. All right, first off, I want to tell you that if your chart looks like this, just sit down and listen for a second, and let me help you out a little bit, because this is not liquidity pool. This is not accurately marking out levels of liquidity. Let me show you how it's done. So after erasing all this bullshit, all right, so when I'm talking about high quality versus low quality liquidity, I'm talking about session highs and lows, buy side and sell side, major swing highs and lows. Okay, so this is what I mean when I talk about high quality versus low quality liquidity. This is high quality liquidity, and let me show you each one of these step by step real quick and how to mark these out and what these actually are. All right, so what I mean by major swing highs and lows, right here. So this is, look at this swing low, look at this swing low, and then look at this swing high, and then look at this swing high. Why are these points of interest important? Why are these higher quality liquidity? These are swing highs and lows. This swing high, right, business was conducted here, right? After buying out and taking out, probably tapping into a higher time frame PDRA or something like that, a lot of selling pressure was put onto this level, right, causing it to sell off, okay? And that created that leg there. And so what happened is price came back into the level, but it came back into a PDRA right here, so respecting it. So this level didn't get fully taken out, right? So it still generated liquidity because it created this leg, right? It retraced and then continued lower. So this leg started this entire move right here. And what does price end up doing? Price ends up taking that out, right? It takes this level out, and that is why that's a major swing high or low. And then look at this swing low right here, right? This was important because buying pressure was put here, right? Price came from expansion to expansion, then consolidated, and then expanded. So this leg technically created this entire move. And what happens? Price guns down and takes his level out because that was a major swing low. Where has business been conducted? I'm talking about like order blocks too. Order blocks are so huge points of interest right here. Like this is an order block, especially order blocks mixed with a fair value gap. That is a validated order block that's going to get taken out at some point. And look at that. Price comes out and takes that level out, consolidates, and then continues lower. So that's what I mean by these major swing highs and lows. It's where has business been conducted, right? Where has shit happened, basically, right? Shit happened here, right? Sold off, consolidated, retraced, and then sold off completely. So this is a huge point of interest. That's why price, right, came down and completely tapped into that level, consolidating even, and then, you know, continue the trend or consolidation. Session highs and lows are super, super important because they are obvious draws in liquidity, super obvious draws. You want to mark out, get your session highs and lows, or use your indicator ICT, kill zones and pivots. But look at here, these lows right here, all these lows were points of interest. And price, look what price did. It just completely wiped it out. And then even tapped into a higher time frame PDRA right here, this fair value gap. And what happened, right? Price took those lows out. This is a liquidity sweep, not a run, because price wicked off and tapped into a higher time frame PDRA and then reversed, right? So what we might see here is we're expansion met with expansion. Price is consolidating. A few things could happen here, right? Price could come back into this level, into this fair value gap, and then continue the trend. Or we could continue going lower into sell side down here. But that's probably not going to happen, right? I'm more inclined to see price come up, see price consolidate and then come down to take out this imbalance and then continue up to take out this major swing high, because this is a swing high that's going to get taken out because this is a session high and business was conducted here, right? Huge selling pressure. Look at this leg it made. Look at this expansion. Price is going to want to gravitate towards this level because business was conducted. And that's what I mean by high quality versus low quality liquidity. I'm talking about, you know, session highs and lows, right? Buy side and sell side, and then major swing highs and lows. And you just want to, you know, pair that up with your order blocks, your fair value gaps, and other PDRAs, and use that to your advantage. And it's like, but it gets confusing, I know. Like, honestly, I get confused a lot too, because sometimes, right, you see your point of interest, you see, okay, what is price going to do? All right, we're going to take out these lows, right? We're probably going to take these lows out and then sweep and then reverse, right? But sometimes price might want to dip a bit lower because there's a PDRA under it, right? There's a fair value gap here. It's going to tap into this fair value gap and then deliver. So you got to watch for those higher time frame PDRAs because they matter so much. If you don't pair that with the other PDRAs, then you're going to be clueless and you're going to get stopped out, or your TP is going to get edged. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of what I mean by high quality versus low quality liquidity. There's a lot of videos out there breaking it down way better than I do. I'm just going to give you a broad overview of that. Just don't be marking out random fucking levels, because I promise you, like, that's not going to help you at all. Like, at least start with those session highs and lows, right? and buy side and sell side, and match those up with PD arrays. Don't just mark those levels out and expect price to gun down to it. It doesn't never happen. It always like chops around and then delivers after. So that's the best way I can explain it. Like I said, I am not a fucking mastermind at liquidity, but I do understand high quality versus low quality liquidity. That's why my DOL, my draw on liquidity, is 99% accurate. I know where we're going to be going by the end of the day or the end of the session because I know what the draw on liquidity is. It's just with my problem is I execute a bit poorly. Sometimes I'm not patient enough, or sometimes I over leverage or under leverage. So that all has to do with execution. But when it comes to my DOL, I'm 99% accurate. I know every time. So I'm never confused when I see price move go to a certain level because I'm like, oh, that's a higher time frame, or that's a major swing low, buy side or sell side, or session high. So like price moves in a certain way, and it always seeks liquidity. People have said this before. Price always seeks liquidity. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say. But yeah, that's about it for today's video. Hope you guys learned something or found this entertaining at all. But yeah, I ended up taking that loss today. Took it to the chin though. It's all right. Shit happens. It's part of learning. It's how you're gonna learn. You have to take losses to learn. Luckily, I didn't size extremely heavy there. It was very small size trade, and as soon as I got hit out, I literally just left. I could have stayed and waited to find another setup, but just because of that execution, I was just like, yeah, let me just take a break just for my mental state. That's about it for today's video. If you guys are new, just go ahead and subscribe and fucking stay with me, bro. Watch the journey on a road to a fucking million, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.